So I work at our FSP in Roseville as a behavioral health specialist. So I'm a case manager who also works on mental health specifically to navigate clients' lives, help them work within the society that we've built for it to work for them, right? Help them kind of achieve those goals that every one of us needs to do on a daily basis. I'll kind of preface by saying that most likely my supports and my supervisors probably recommended me because I am a particular case that struggles with ADHD.
Oh,
And
okay.
the documentation process is, with lack of better terms, excruciating sometimes. It
Hmm.
is not my go-to. My brain is not wired that way. The same thing went for college way back in the day was
Yep.
it was it's a challenge, right? And this job is go, 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 go. And then
Hmm.
they say, okay, you know what? Now go sit at your desk for 2 hours straight and try not to think about all of the chaos that you just did and instead write it
Right.
into clinical terms, which I love clinical work. I love clinical terms. I love writing. I've never struggled with the actual content of the writing. Um, but beforehand, it was the time and the time management and the ability to get the words out. Eleos has gotten to know my writing, and it helps me use those sentences that I regularly use in my documentation as is, right? The prompting type sentences, and then I fill in the blanks within Eleos as I go. It took what I struggle to do for hours, but am capable of doing,
Right.
and allows me to do it in a timely manner that keeps me still satisfied and proud of my work because it's still me
Wow.
putting in all of the info. Beforehand, I definitely prioritize self-care because in this field it is massive because if I burn out, then no one
Right.
gets services. I think that it has given more time, more availability for my clients and again, structure. Like it has
Yeah.
allowed me to maintain a more firm structure for my clients as well, which helps them in turn know when and where and how we're going to go about our week. I actually have a physical text message from a client that said, Kelsey, you are getting so much more organized. And
Wow.
I'm famous for being kind of a eccentric, chaotic type case manager, organized chaos,
Hmm.
but it definitely became even more organized when the panic of documentation wasn't looming the way that it
Right.
was before. With Elios, it's been fantastic, but just documentation in general is still something that many of us struggle with regardless, but it really has become a staple tool for a lot of us like me. I was one of the kind of initial like super users, I think that was the
Hmm.
term they used. So we went to the orientation for it, and I got to speak with a lot of the people who work and do a lot of the programming. I was a little concerned about AI, but then when we realized that it was augmented intelligence, which I think is a very, very important thing to note, because
Hmm.
augmented versus artificial can go two different ways. Augmented, that input is so important because this is such a niche, not that it's a niche job, but it is niche dialogue
Oh,
and
yeah.
context, and we need it
Right.
to be organic and we need it to
Hmm.
be flexible.